Yo, what is going on, buddies? Best Series here, back with another video. Today I'm coming to you guys with the 10K speed run and exactly how I did it.
I still see your shadows in my room. Can't take back the love that I gave.
You guys are gonna see the account from the very beginning all the way to 10,000 followers. This took me from November 1st all the way to January 12th. I did it on January 13th when I woke up, but it was January 12th at night. So that was about 10 weeks and some change. There was a mishap along the way. If you guys have been following the channel for a little while, you know that I got banned on like all my accounts where I couldn't like, couldn't post, couldn't comment, couldn't do anything. Really because I was trying to start up 3 theme pages at the time, and I unfollowed a ton of people on my baseball account. So my basketball account suffered, and for a whole week I could not post. So that did stunt my growth in about the beginning of December. The process was fairly simple. I'm going to be doing a tutorial on how you guys can start and grow your theme page very soon. If you guys watch my video on how to get your first 1,000 followers, you know I use the follow method to get my first around 2,500 followers. Now with this page, I had a couple posts that took off around 1,000 followers, so I did gain a lot of natural growth around that 1,000 follower mark, which propelled me past that 2,500 follower mark and way into a couple thousand. And you'll see at one point I even had, it was like 3,000 followers in a week. I was going absolutely nuts, and it was because of this one video. It was a good video. It was this girl's basketball thing. You guys are gonna see it. It ended up with over 1 million views and like 80,000 likes. It was nuts. That is the power of Reels. Now, something I'm understanding here, at the time I'm recording this, I'm understanding Reels can get you a lot of quick growth. This 10K speed run, it was crazy. We did it in a very short amount of time. I was gonna do a 1K speed run, but for me that first 1,000 can be a little tricky. You know, I've seen some of the likes of other YouTubers doing it in less than 2 weeks, doing it in about 10 days, and for me 1,000 takes about 2 weeks if I'm going really hard for it, at least from my experience from starting up a couple pages. I mean, the first 1,000 on this count took around like 16-17 days, I think it was. I didn't actually do a screen recording. When I hit 1,000, I just kind of, you'll see I had like 1,600, so I'm just gonna have the clips playing alongside the screen for the entire video. Now, the biggest part of running a theme page is finding the good content. Me, my strategy, and I'll go over this a little bit more in detail when I do my video on how you guys can start a theme page and grow it. Use the exact same strategies I do, but I'm going to touch briefly on that in this video. And running a theme page is just reposting content. Just create. A big part of that is getting credit to those who actually did create the content. Otherwise, you're going to tick off a lot of people, and it's just not good practice. You're not taking a whole lot of time to actually, do the stuff. You're just copying and pasting. So you gotta at least give credit where credit's due. Now, as I was mentioning earlier with Reels, it is very quickly with just 1 or 2 videos that can, hit the algorithm and go crazy, you will get a big following. Now, the thing I've noticed now, later on, now that I have over 10,000 followers on this page, is the engagement is not that good. Even though that was all organic growth, the followers just have not translated into engagement. And what I'm thinking is the reason why that is because it's not your typical photos and just videos of Instagram that people will see in their feed and maybe not engage with as much. But even the Reels, some of them just don't do that good. Now, I know some of it, depends on the video or how many times they've seen it, because the people will see a lot of the same videos over and over again. That's part of the reposting need. I was very surprised to see my engagement now is just not doing good. And at the end of December and the beginning of January, my account started popping off again. They could jump from like 7,000 to around 9,000 followers. I thought we were going to go all the way to 10,000 with this little boom we had from a couple videos. Unfortunately, they kind of fell off. It was like a 2-week. There's a certain time range where these Reels can really go off, and it's between. In the beginning, they can go off, but it takes a little bit of time. It's usually around the 1 week to about 2.5 week mark that you can get that's that window to get a massive amount of views and likes. Now that window had kind of passed and the video did not get like views at all, but I think I did have a couple more, like over 1 million, or at least very close to that. Really propelled me forward, but it just wasn't enough to get that last push for like 250 more follows. So it did take a little bit longer than I thought it would be. I thought it was gonna be like that week, but unfortunately it just came up a little bit short. And at that time, somebody actually approached me about buying my account. Interested, it would be a crazy way to end the video video to say I didn't get it actually. You know, I was just about to, and I sold the account, and I was down to sell if it was a good price. This guy offered $500. I'm like, all right, you know, that's a pretty good price for 10,000. He's like, well, let me think about it. And then he was like, well, 600 right now. But then he's like, I don't want to seem scammy. So then I said, well, just give me a day to think about it, and you know, I'll get back to you. So I got back to him the next day. I'm like, sure, I'll take it. I previously asked him if it was going to be a PayPal transaction, because I have had that before where I've done maybe shoutouts or different stuff like that. People, they're like, oh, I don't do PayPal. Actually, I was trying to buy somebody's account. They're like, no, I don't do PayPal. I'm like, okay. You need to use PayPal when buying on Instagram because it protects you, the buyer. You can say, hey, he didn't give me my product, and you can dispute it. Always use PayPal on goods and services. Don't do friends and family. I have had times in the past where I've worked with people for a while, and I thought they would, you know, continue to work with me, and then they didn't end up paying me. So I have had that. So always make sure, unless you know them like personally, you don't do friends and family. Anyway, back to the account being sold. I gave my PayPal, and I said, and he wanted the password. I'm like, that's not how business works. I said, hey, and then I give you the password. Like, that's how the world works. You pay first, then you get the product. That's just how business works. And he was like, no. And I'm like, okay. So then that didn't work. Then somebody else approached me about buying the account, and then I said, you know, he said, how much for it? And I said, a lot, because, you know, after I just got $600, I'm like, you know, thinking I can get it as much as I want, but obviously in reality the account's not worth $600. Started off at 200, and it went up to about like 250, and then I came down to 300. I started off at like 500, some ridiculous number like that. I said 300, and he was like, nah, that's still too much. I said 275, never got back to me. And honestly, I think I'm not gonna sell that account just yet. Now that I'm over that 10,000 follower mark, now maybe I have a chance to get that engagement back up. There's a lot you can do with 10,000 followers, because now there's the swipe up link on the story, which is huge for selling products, and that's something I'm definitely looking to do with some of these accounts that I grow. So I may do some videos on that. Yeah, this process of growing a theme page, it's fairly easy now. Like I mentioned, Reels is a great way to grow, get quick followers when you have a video that pops off and you post, you know, the same type of content all the time, and people were more likely to follow you. At first, you know, a couple thousand is key, and once you go from there, then you can take off. But the engagement in today's Instagram is very hard to keep. I'm finding that out. Maybe some pages don't have that problem, but for me, I'm having a very hard time to keep engagement on the page where, you know, my followers they're just not engaging with stuff, or they're not even getting it in their feeds. I'm getting stuff later on the post, not in the beginning. So that is a little bit of a struggle. But this was a great challenge. So we had some great accomplishments with this page. You see a couple points. We had over 1 million followers reached. The first time I noticed that was on December 25th, so that was pretty cool. And then we had 1.8 million, then 2 million, and then, you know, the beginning of January we had a couple videos there at the end that went off. Now is the power of Reels again. But not every post goes off of Reels. Sometimes you're only going to get that 5,000 to 10,000 views. You know, for me, I've seen other pages, they have almost every post go off of Reels, and, you know, they're still a little bit smaller page, so it's gonna be hit or miss. I don't think I fully cracked the code, but I think I'm definitely, you know, learning a little bit more and doing fairly well, since I did gain 10,000 followers in around 10 weeks. Call it 9 if you disregard the week where I couldn't post at all. Did it in about 206 posts. Now I usually post about 3 times a day, all at nighttime. What I'll either do is I'll do 2 reels in a post, or I'll do 2 posts in a reel. That's just kind of the strategy I've been doing for all my pages. Yeah, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a really cool video to do, and just see the whole process of it. Looking back on it, it was a great accomplishment, great ride, fun time these past 10 weeks making this account, and having some fun with some of our other accounts that have been growing as well, and hopefully we can try to make some money from in the future. So if you guys found this video interesting, drop a like. I got more Instagram stuff coming soon. If you want to know how to start a photography Instagram page, we're going to be going over that, how to start your very own theme page and use the exact strategies I do. That video will be coming out shortly. If you want to see how to get your first 1,000 followers, check out the video I did about a month ago now. Jumpstart your page and eventually catapult it into something much bigger. Really appreciate it if you dropped a like in this video. That would mean so much to me. Just let me know what you thought, and what kind of pages you're running, and how well you're doing with your pages in 2021 and Instagram. So if you guys did enjoy, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.